Hey everybody, it's Luke over at Galaxy Tech Review, and today I've got a product from OUMAX. This is the OUMAX S7 round smartwatch. You can check this smartwatch out on Amazon at the time of this video for $49, and I will have a link, as always, in the description below where you guys can check it out. Now on the back they give us some QR codes here, one for the App Store, one for the Play Store, for either iOS or Android, so that you can get it hooked up with your phone. I have an Android phone here, a Galaxy Note 5 that I'll be using for a demonstration today. Now this does use a MediaTek dual core CPU. They don't tell you exactly which model. Has the latest OUMAX UI 2.0. It's made out of an aluminum metal case. It does have replacement watch straps on this as well. So if you want to replace it with another 22 millimeter watch strap, you certainly can do so. 1.22 inch IPS round screen at resolution of 240 by 240, and it does real-time push notifications for Android devices. iOS, you're kind of limited to phone calls and built-in applications on the watch. Will not do push notifications for iOS. You can check OUMAX out at www.oumax.net, and their email is listed on the back here as well. So let's get into this watch. It comes in a couple different colors. They have like a silver bezel and then a black or gunmetal bezel. I've got the black one here. Give you a nice little cleaning cloth here. And they also give you a user manual, which we'll check out in just a second. Let's get the watch out. It does have a nice leather band to it. It's a quality leather band. I actually like this band. Looks like it's going to hold up for quite some time. And they also, again, it's a 22 millimeter band, and you can just unsnap the pin and hook up pretty much any band that you would like. So if you want to switch it out for a metal band or something else like that, you certainly can do that. I really like the screen on this. I've gone over a lot of smartwatches and you know, a little less known ones as well. And this round screen that they have on this, it's an IPS screen, and it works really well, and it looks really good under sunlight even. I was very impressed. So we're going to fire this up so that it connects to my phone, and you'll get a boot up here that has OUMAX's logo. And then it will boot up and connect pretty quickly. So I want to show you what the charging mechanism like that they have there is a magnetic charging mechanism with a USB port on one side. So you can plug this into your PC or your laptop's USB, or you can use an AC to wall adapter to charge this as well, and it will charge very easily. And I'll show you how that hooks on in just a second. They give you a nice detailed booklet here, all written in English as well. And they give you a couple different things here. It has to have iOS 7.0 or higher, or Android 4.1 or higher. It uses Bluetooth 4.0 LE. It weighs 55 grams. It has a 3-axis motion sensor, 240 by 240 resolution, external speaker, and an internal microphone for taking phone calls directly on the watch. Standard 22 millimeter leather strap, 280 milliamp battery. Now they don't say how long it'll last, but in my testing, I've gotten a good 2 days out of this with light to moderate use, and through a full day, no problem on heavier usage, doing a bunch of phone calls and stuff like that, with push notifications going off all the time. So you're going to get about 2 days on this for your normal usage. It only takes about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours to totally charge this guy up too. So a very good design by them, and when we get into the screen, I'll show you that. So you can hold on to this, and I will, you know, I would suggest holding on to this just because it's got a lot of pertinent information for you as far as how to get it, you know, connected to your phone and everything like that. So I'll put this to the back. Now, the design of the watch itself is very nice. Again, you have this IPS screen here, which looks really good in all of your, even in, you know, horizontal or vertical angles. You're not getting a lot of washout or anything like that. You've got on this particular watch face, you've got whether you're connected via Bluetooth or there's a headset, a Bluetooth headset connected, your battery indicator up there. I've got about 30% battery left on it at the moment, but if you hold it in, they've got a few other ones here that I'll cycle through so that you can check those out. This is kind of just your standard with a second hand there. And you can't download other ones, which kind of stinks, but that's okay. They give you some pretty decent ones in here. This one I really like because it's got your battery meter at the bottom as well, going 25, 50, 75, and 100%. So that'll show you that as well. They've got some really kind of out there ones, like this one is kind of more of an out there one. It does have the date in the middle, but not a lot of other stuff going on with it. And let's see, and then this one, which is just a plain watch. I kind of like this one, the big numbers with the IPS display. Even in sunlight, I can read this no problem. So I kind of like that one as well. Now, if we scroll over, you've got a bunch of different things. You've got a full-fledged calendar here that you can click on that'll show you the day. It'll also show you the full month if you want to do that as well. A remote notifier, your dialer, your phone book. The phone book will have all of my phone synced with phone contacts on here. So I've got a bunch of different contacts that's synced over from my phone. If I go to dialer, I can just dial someone. Like I always like to dial T-Mobile and just call them. And it takes a second here, and it is dialing on the phone, but it's also coming out of here.
T-Mobile. If you're calling about the new Apple device, say yes. Otherwise, say no.
No.
Hi, Richard. How can I help you today? You can say anything from representative to change rate plan to make a payment. So briefly, tell me the reason for your call.
Representative.
Okay. I'll get you over to a representative for verification.
So as you can see, the mic at the top here did a great job. Your speaker down here is it's placed a little weird. I kind of wish they would have placed it on the side because when you have it on your wrist, it'll be muffled a little bit, but it does a pretty good job. It's not super stellar, but they do a solid job with that. So your dialer works, your phone book, you can dial right from your phone book. You've got profiles where you can go in and set whether you want it to vibrate and ring or just vibrate, a few different ringtones that you can go through, notification tones as well. I'll disconnect from Bluetooth music, and then I will go in. So you got a bunch of different ones. They give you like 5, and then they give you like 5 ringtones as well. So it really just depends. But at least they're built in and they're there for you and they do work. It's a closed OS, so you're not going to be able to like download new watch faces or add more apps on here or anything like that. Going into settings, you've got your Bluetooth settings, which you're going to need to use to power on your Bluetooth and make sure it's visible so that you can sync it with your phone. You can set alarms here. You do a sound recorder, so if you want to do some sound notes, you can do sound notes. You have a built-in calculator here. You've got the clock, which will bring you back to the clock faces that I already showed you. Sound will bring you back to that sound menu there. Volume, you can do a bunch of different things, either multimedia, ringtones, and notifications, and you can switch those lower or higher if you would like to. So you've got all of that there. You've got display, and you can do 3 apps or 4 apps on your menu style. I've got it set to 4 apps right now. And then if we go back to display again, you've got brightness, you've got wallpapers, and they only kind of give you 1 for the wallpaper, and that's okay. Screen timeout, you can go anywhere from 5 seconds to 30 seconds. Another thing, if you notice as you're looking at this, you don't have that ugly bar that a lot of them have on round watches that will cover up the kind of the bottom corner of the screen there. They've actually made this fairly fleshed out, so even on a round watch face here, you can see that you're not getting that cutoff at the bottom, which is another really good thing. I was really impressed with just the clarity of this IPS screen, which actually works out pretty good. Now, high voice, this is so that you can connect to Siri if you have your iOS device connected. I obviously have an Android device, so that's not going to work. Motion settings for, flipping up the watch to turn it on, flip to mute alarms, wake up gestures, all of those are all in here, and you can change those. Pedometer, which works really well. You can go into options and do a history, your goal of how many steps you want to take, your height and weight to track all of that. So that works really well. Sedentary reminder, you can set it. I have it set for 60 minutes, so every 60 minutes, if I'm not moving, it'll beep and let me know to get my lazy butt up and moving. Sleep monitor, you can monitor your sleep. You have a remote capture here, and when you go in, it'll ask you for iOS or Android. Obviously, I have Android, so I'm going to want to do that. And what it will, whoops, probably because my thing wasn't open. Let's try that again. There we go. So now I can capture whatever's on my screen. Now it's a little choppy, but it'll get the job done. You can capture whatever you see from your main camera here. So that's actually pretty cool that they at least did that on there. There's a little bonus thing there. And then Bluetooth Connect again kind of just lets you know what you're connected to, and there's my phone there. So they did a good job on messaging. Is another thing. You'll get push notifications about messages if you have it selected in the app. And then if a message comes up, like I've got a message from my brother, and if I want to reply to that, I'll just hit reply. And it doesn't have, it just has templates, which is fine for on the go. You've got some emojis at the bottom. You've got, some basic templates that you can reply to. So that's cool. At least you can do that from the watch. And then you have find device as well, so that you can find your phone or your watch vice versa from the actual phone. So they did an overall pretty cool job with this. It's got a lot of the functions that you would need: pedometer, a bunch of other things, sedentary reminder and sleep monitor, along with being able to take phone calls right on the watch, a very nice IPS screen on here, and the ability to take, phone calls directly from the watch. Now, if you want to use the magnetic clasp here, it's very simple to charge it. It's strong enough that you're not going to have to worry about it falling off when you have it hooked up for charging, but it's not strong enough to lift the watch with. So it's a good solid connection. I didn't have any problems charging this guy up myself. So let us, I'll go back to this watch face real quick. And I want to show you the app real quick. Let's finish up the app. It's called MediaTek Smart Device, and a lot of them that have the MediaTek chipset are going to be using this app. You can find your watch, and it'll ring the watch. So if you lose your watch, now my applications, this is where it's going to, it gives you a couple extra ones. That digital clock that you see right now is an extra one that you can install. This Kodun thing, I have not tested that at all. Yahoo Weather you can install on here, so you can get weather on the watch as well. And then notifications is where you're going to want to go in, and you're going to have two things: personal apps and system apps. System apps by default all come as on, so you're going to have to switch all of those off. If not, you're going to get endless notifications on your watch. Personal apps, this is more where you get your stuff like, if I have Dropbox installed and I want applications from Dropbox, obviously you want call service and SMS service for messaging. You're going to want, something like, Facebook Messenger if you want it, stuff like that. Anything that you might want on here, you can turn them on and you'll just get notifications for only those things. Music, again, if you want to use music, it'll ask you what you want to use for your default music player. I have my default music player selected, but obviously it'll do Pandora if you have that installed, a few other things as well. And you can actually access device info. It'll take a second, but it'll tell you what the certain things are, what sensors are in here: magnetic and gyro sensors. There is no heart rate sensor, no temperature, no humidity sensor. It's 4.0 on the Bluetooth. Again, MediaTek. And it tells you some version numbers. No GPS, no GSM, because there is no slot to put in a card itself, but either a memory card or a SIM card. This is a standalone companion for your smart device itself. So overall, I am giving this definitely a thumbs up, especially for the screen quality under sunlight. This works really well. I also have a Galaxy Gear S that does well under the screen, and sometimes some of these other ones don't do so hot, but they did a really good job on the screen, and that's the highlight of this. The fact that you can replace the bands is also a good highlight. The fact that you can make phone calls and take phone calls directly on the watch is definitely a highlight. The fact that you can't really expand it by memory, it's a closed OS, you can't add more applications to it. You can't add different watch faces, although they do give you a bunch of good ones. This is a solid smartwatch. There's nothing wrong with this smartwatch. It's got good vibration, good ring. It will bring over all of your stuff from your phone and you won't have to take it out of your pocket. It's got a pedometer built in. It's got a couple extras in there that also work really well. So I think they did a great job on this. I'm definitely giving it a thumbs up, especially at a $49 price point. That's not too bad at all. Will work with iOS. You're just going to be limited on the push notifications, best used with Android, but rock solid in my testing, didn't have any problems, decent battery life. So that is my review of the OUMAX S7 Round smartwatch. If you have any questions or comments about this smartwatch, please leave them in the comment section below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll check you guys out on the next video.